Your first Dungeons & Dragons game is not going to be perfect. You'll forget rules, you'll feel awkward in roleplay, you might even wonder if you're doing it wrong. But here's the truth, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. By the end of this video, you'll know the 8 things that actually matter before your first session, so you can stop stressing and start enjoying the high that only a really fun D&D game can give. I'm Jace, actor, writer, and dungeon master for over 10 years. I've watched players crash and burn, I've seen the first-timers create absolute magic and get obsessed with D&D, and I can tell you exactly what makes the difference. So let's make sure your first game is the one you remember for all the right reasons. Your first game is training wheels. Most new players put way too much pressure on their first game. They think it has to be a long-running campaign, that this is it. But your first session isn't your masterpiece, it's your practice round. It's training wheels. Every table plays D&D differently. Some like serious drama, some like goofy improv comedy, some like tactical combat and puzzles. So your first game isn't just about learning rules. It's about figuring out what kind of D&D excites you. That's why I recommend starting with a short one-shot or mini adventure before you commit to a 2-year epic. Think of it like a pilot episode. It lets you experiment with different styles, groups, and characters without the pressure of forever. Your first character won't be perfect, your first game won't be flawless, but that's not the point. The point is discovering what kind of player you want to be. Stats are personality. Here's the mistake, treating stats like math homework. Strength is not just how much can I bench press. Charisma is not just how many persuasion rolls can I win. Stats are story cues. The player's handbook even shows this on page 39. Take strength, for example. A high-strength character could be broad-shouldered and protective like a soldier who shields the weak, or lean and sinewy like a wiry duelist who fights with precision and grit. Same number, totally different vibe. Therefore, use your stats as a guide to personality. Low wisdom doesn't mean stupid, it could mean book smart, but socially clueless. High dexterity doesn't just mean acrobat, it could mean graceful, twitchy, sly, careful. And if character creation overwhelms you, ask your DM. They'll help you figure out the numbers into a character that feels alive instead of a spreadsheet. I personally love living vicariously through my players since I almost never get to make my own characters as a player. I jump at the chance to help them craft their character. Fit the world, not just yourself. Here's the danger. You build the perfect character, but they don't belong in the campaign. And I've seen it happen. A player wants to play a swashbuckling pirate in a landlocked political intrigue story, or a brooding loner vampire in a lighthearted comedy party. And the result, they never feel like part of the story. Therefore, before session 1, share your concept with your DM. Say, here's the kind of character I'm excited about. Does this fit your world? A good DM will tweak your idea so it still excites you, but also fits the campaign's tone. Because the most fun character isn't just the one you love, it's one that makes sense in the same movie everyone else is acting in. Describe actions, not roles. So the rookie mistake is to say things like, I roll investigation. But here's the secret, it's not your job to ask for rolls. That's the DM's job. Your job is to describe what your character does. Instead of, I roll perception, just say, I'm squinting and I'm looking around and I kneel down to look for traps. Instead of, I roll persuasion, say, I lean forward and I lower my voice and I say, listen, between you and me. So don't stress about which roll is right. Just describe your action and the DM will tell you what they want you to roll. And if you're lost, look at your sheet. High stealth, sneak. High insight, ask questions. Think of your stats as your instincts. That's how you turn dice rolls into moments of story. Side note, if you're vibing with this so far, hitting the like button helps more people find it. And subscribing lets me know that you want more D&D videos like this. All right, back to it. Failure is roleplay fuel. Every new player dreads rolling a natural one, but here's the truth. Those moments are gold. Don't just say, I miss, show it. The barbarian's axe gets stuck in the floor. The rogue fumbles the lockpick and almost breaks it. The wizard's firebolt sputters like a wet match. Treat failure like story fuel. Those moments of overcoming disasters can become the ones you are going to retell years later. And let's be honest, remember when everything went wrong always makes a better story than remember when everything went smoothly. Okay. Combat has dialogue too. Here's a rookie mistake, treating combat like a board game. Move, roll, win. And hey, if that's how you enjoy D&D, go for it. But if you want immersion, if you want imagination, treat combat like part of the story. Stay in character when initiative starts. Shout a battle cry. Well, don't really shout, but pretend you do. Groan when you miss. Throw a sarcastic jab when you dodge. You know, actors know this trick. Method actors often stay in character between takes because flipping in and out of imagination kills that immersion. Our brains are not really equipped to be that fast at realizing what's reality and what's not. So don't turn off your roleplay when initiative is rolled. Keep it alive and, make that whole fight like a cinematic scene instead of just a math exercise. Invite your fellow players in and stay engaged. Here's something most new players get wrong. They think they're only supposed to roleplay with the DM. They kind of do it subconsciously. So they treat their game like an audience would. They're quiet until addressed. But D&D is an ensemble story, so engage your fellow players directly. If your rogue is chatting with an NPC, you can pull in the bard and say, hey, back me up, tell me how good I am at this. Or if the cleric heals you, don't just nod, mutter in character, thanks, I owe you one. And here's the second half. Stay engaged even when it's not your turn. I kind of am repeating myself, but don't scroll on your phone. Don't zone out. React, laugh, take notes, whisper in character, some asides. That's how the whole table feels alive. Because D&D isn't about waiting for your turn. It's about building the scene together. Don't buy everything. New players fall into this trap. They think this is Magic the Gathering and they need to buy their way into the hobby. Dice trays, minis, trackers, spell cards, whole libraries of books. But you don't need any of that. The basic rules are free on D&D Beyond and I'll link them in the description. Your DM very likely has a player's handbook you can borrow. And dice, someone will always loan you a set, or you can roll digital ones on your phone. So don't stress about gear, okay? All you need for your first session is a character sheet, imagination, and the willingness to play. The rest can come later. And trust me, the dice addiction will absolutely come later. It's a widespread affliction that infects 99% of players. But for your first game, just show up on time. That's enough. All right, so in this video, you learned that your first game is an opportunity to find out what you like. You learned that your stats aren't just numbers, they're personality cues. You learned to fit your character into the world or the campaign and not just your own imagination. You learned to describe your actions instead of your roles. You also learned that failure is story fuel, that combat is roleplay as well, and that the best games are ensemble stories, not solo shows. And you also learned not to buy out the entire game store just to sit at the table. But remember, your first D&D game isn't about getting everything right. It's about starting the journey, because the only way to play D&D wrong is not playing at all. All right, here comes the part you've never heard before. Don't forget to hit the like button if you found this video useful or interesting, and consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell if you enjoy D&D content like this. Until next time, stay high. Nope. I mean, you can stay high if you'd like to. Until next time, roll high and stay in character. Goodbye.